Mabuhay o sa Kapampangan luwid kayo. Welcome to Vlogtober number 6. And in today's video, I'll be doing a reaction to the new trailer that was just released today on the new Disney movie Rája and the Last Dragon. And this is actually my first reaction video ever, so please bear with me. And for those who are new to my channel, my name is Kirby Aráullo. I'm a historian, an educator, and a cultural advocate. And in this channel, I make videos about our history, about our culture, and about our people. So if you like learning about those things, don't forget to like, share this video, comment down below, and subscribe. Now back to our topic. Actually, initial thought muna, my initial thought when the first announcement came out about this new movie, Rája and the Last Dragon, my initial thought was that the name Rája is actually very significant. I'm not sure if it has something to do with it, if this is the reason why the writers chose this name, but from a perspective of a historian like me, I saw something deeper in the name. So yeah, the name Rája, or the word Rája, for those who may not know, there's a word Rája in Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa Indonesia. And in Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa Indonesia, Rája means great, something great. So actually, ang national anthem, the national anthem of Indonesia today is called Indonesia Raya, Great Indonesia. And it goes something like this. Indonesia Raya, Merdeka, Merdeka. So yeah, something like that. And this actually reminds me, the name, the title Rája and the Last Dragon reminds me of this concept, this idea of Melayu Raya, or the greater Malay world, the greater Malay world, which is also reflected, actually linked or connected to this ancient concept of Nusantara from Indonesia, from Majapahit. This idea of uniting all the diverse people of the different islands across Southeast Asia. And for my Filipino political science folks out there, this is similar to this idea of the Maphilindo. Maphilindo is this grouping of Malaysia, Philippines, and Indonesia, Maphilindo, that was meant to unite the countries that were once part of the Malay world. And you know, it is actually something that even Jose Rizal himself believed in. And it is also one of the precursors of the modern day ASEAN. So Maphilindo was one of the precursors that led to the creation of ASEAN, or the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which again is this concept of uniting the different people, the different kingdoms, the different countries of Southeast Asia. So for me, I do find that interesting that the name of the character is Rája, meaning great, and it reminds me a lot of this concept that was meant to unite Southeast Asia. So those are my initial thoughts from the title alone, as a historian who also studied political science and international relations. So yeah, okay, let's play the mahiwagang trailer. Ooh, booby trap. Clever. Okay, I kind of find that interesting that they named the animal companion of Rája as Tuk Tuk. So for our Filipino friends out there, if you're not familiar with it, Tuk Tuk are actually the Thai versions of our tricycles. So if we have trikes in the Philippines, they have Tuk Tuk in Thailand. It's a little bit different, but it's similar to our tricycles. But yeah, interesting that they named the companion animal Tuk Tuk. Give me some shell.
I gotcha.
Ooh, what is that? Ooh, may kalaban. So before I continue, I actually like the wailing sound that they have in the beginning and throughout the trailer, I guess. This wailing sound. Nakaka-LSS. So for Filipinos out there, nakaka-LSS. Na-stuck na siya sa isip ko. 1 minute in, na-LSS na ako. Okay, let's play. Oh, swords. I love swords. Oh, hey.
My whole life, I trained to become a guardian of the dragon gem, but this world has changed.
Cool. Okay, so malakas siya maka avatar vibes. There's a companion animal, and then very avatar-like for me. Okay, so before we go to the next part of the trailer, if I can just rewind a little bit, kasi we can see over here, back here. Yeah, let's play this part.
My whole life, I trained to become a guardian of the dragon.
Okay, there we go. So this is actually very interesting for me, this particular choice of weapon, this sword that they use for Raya. As you can see, there's actually let me play it again to see a better picture. Oops, ay, nawala.
My whole life, I trained to become a guardian of the dragon.
There we go, much clearer. So yeah, if you can see, on the base of her sword, there are two dragons. There are two-headed dragons, or twin dragons. And then the sword itself, it seems like it's a wavy sword. So this is very Southeast Asian. Very yeah, kasi for those who are not familiar with it, in Southeast Asia, particularly in the countries of Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, the Philippines, and southern Thailand, we have this traditional swords or family of swords and daggers called kris or keris or kalis. And they are often wavy. Most people think all the wavy swords are kris or kalis or keris, but that's just one aspect of it. Some kalis, kris, and keris are actually straight. But anyways, you can see two dragons on the base of her sword, of her wavy sword. They're similar to keris or kalis. And this is actually very significant to the different cultures of Southeast Asia. And the two dragons actually on the base of a keris or a kalis is actually a very common design, a very common decoration on the base of a kalis or a keris. Of the blade, the base of the blade. And they're often, in Southeast Asia, these dragons are often known as the Nagarajas, literally meaning the Dragon Kings. And they have different significance in different communities or different cultures, different traditions. For example, in Kapampangan culture, according to the oral traditions that were passed down to us by our elders, the Nagaraja are believed to be the dragon kings that ruled the mighty rivers and the oceans surrounding what is now Luzon in the Philippines. So they are very mythical dragons. So yes, I love the fact that they actually chose keris, kalis, kris inspired sword as one of her main weapons, with the dragon at the base of the blade. And actually, for my older or my long time followers out there on social media, if you remember on Instagram and Facebook, I posted a picture of my old kalis, of one of my old kalis. And in that picture, I showed the two dragons at the base of the blade of my old kalis. It's actually that one in the back over there. So yun, on that kalis, there's actually two dragons at the base. Like when I mentioned, the Nagarajas. They represent the mythological Nagarajas. And on that kalis that I have, you can see that the two dragons, they're not, unlike Raya's, there's two heads and one dragon. For that one, it has two dragons that are actually intertwined to form the blade. Again, Nagarajas are very mythical figures in Southeast Asia, and also having them on the base of a keris or a sword is very traditional. It's one of the most traditional designs of keris and kalis and kris. So yeah, I love this choice of weapon. Okay, ano pa ba masasabi ko tungkol dito? But yeah, we also saw, let's see, actually let me play it again. There we go. Yan. So as you can see, she's fighting the enemy using two sticks. For those who may not be familiar with it, this is a very Filipino martial arts thing to do. So traditional martial arts in the Philippines involves using, now we use two sticks, but back then, pre-colonially, our ancestors actually used two-bladed weapons. And in the Philippines, there are actually different terms that refers to the traditional martial arts in the Philippines. So there's arnis, there's eskrima, and there's kali. And I know it sounds familiar kasi kali, according again to our elders in Kapampangan traditions, in Kapampangan oral traditions and culture that were passed down to us, according to them, our elders and culture bearers, the word kali that refers to the fighting or the martial arts of the traditional martial arts actually comes from the word kalis. And kalis is the Kapampangan, Tausug, and Magindanaoan word for kris or keris. So yes, I'm happy that they're using, or Rája is using, a very Filipino traditional martial arts. that is also, very steeped in the pre-colonial traditions of our islands, of our ancestors. And again, for those who may not know, the keris, the kalis, the kris, these family of different swords, of often wavy swords and very decorative swords, are not just functional, but they're actually very spiritual. They're very mythological. There's a lot of mythologies that surrounds these swords. It's actually one of the most fascinating cultural artifacts that are found throughout Southeast Asia. Because again, you can find these swords, these indigenous swords, in places like Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Southern Thailand, the Philippines, and Indonesia. So these swords have a lot of meanings, a lot of traditional significance throughout Southeast Asia. So I love the fact that they're using the sword and they're also using a very Southeast Asian martial arts as her form of fighting. And again, napaka Avatar vibes. If you can see, Rája kind of looks like Avatar Korra from the Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then the guy she's fighting here in this scene looks like Zuko when he was wearing the blue mask. So very Avatar vibes. And then yun nga, may companion animal pa sila, si Tok Tok. So very Avatar vibes. Okay, let's go back to it.
And its people are divided. Now, to restore peace.
Ooh, cool. Okay. I have a couple of thoughts, but first this hat. So you can see Rája is wearing a conical hat. Now this is not just Southeast Asian, but it's also something that is found in East and Southeast Asia. So you can find these conical hats in China, in the Philippines, in Vietnam, throughout Asia, throughout East and Southeast Asia. But this particular design, at least from my perspective, from what I can see, it looks very Southeast Asian to me, very Southeast Asian. It looks very similar to the salakot in the Philippines. In Tagalog, it's called salakot, and in Kapampangan, it's called turong. So this is, again, is a very common hat that is worn throughout Southeast Asia. And it's not just worn by farmers. So a lot of people associate these hats with farmers, but it's a very functional hat that everybody in the society wore. For example, the pre-colonial warriors of Luzon, the Kapampangan warriors of Luzon, wore similar hats, and it's called turong. And I'll show some depiction over here. I'll add the graphic, the illustration over here. But they were something similar. Actually, fun fact then, the turong or the salakot, these conical hats, are often also used by royalties as a form of crown. And even during the Spanish colonial era in the Philippines, the descendants of these royalties, the descendants of Dátûs known as the Principalias, also wore similar hats, similar salakots that are often elaborately decorated with silver, with gold, precious metals, and some of them are actually made with turtle shells. So it is a very traditional hat, traditional headgear, traditional headwear that has survived through centuries, even through colonialism. So cool, very Southeast Asian. Now let's go back and restore peace. Hey, wait lang. I think I missed something. Okay, let's go back. Okay.
My name is Rája.
Cool. Ang cute ni Tok Tok. Cool. So initial thoughts. Si Tok Tok reminds me a lot of Appa from The Last Airbender and Naga from The Legend of Korra. So malakas talaga siya maka-Avatar vibes. Also interesting to see that they're releasing the movie on March 2021. March 2021 marks the 500 years since the so-called discovery of the Philippines by Ferdinand Magellan. So there's a lot of historic things happening, a lot of historical commemorations that year or next year, especially on the month of March. Maybe it has nothing to do with it, but it's interesting coincidence. Anyways, actually, let's go back to a part of it that I really love. Let me just show you the part of the trailer that I love the most so far. Yeah, so you can see here the depiction or the appearances of the people in Rája's world. For me, it really reflects the diversity of people in Southeast Asia. And not just from what they're wearing, because if you really look at it closely, even their skin tones are very diverse. Their facial features are very diverse. And their clothing are very diverse. even the animals in the back are very diverse. And for me, this is very reflective of the diversity in Southeast Asia. Because for those who may not know, Southeast Asia is actually a very diverse place. Not just in different cultures, different languages, different traditions, but also in the biodiversity. It's one of the most diverse places on earth. So I love the fact that the depiction of the different animals, the different people in this world is very reflective of that diversity in Southeast Asia. There's a lot of different people, different colorful cultures that are distinct from one another, yet they're always intertwined. They've always been interconnected. They've always been, interwoven by our shared history, our shared cultures, and our shared heritage, our shared roots. And again, Raya's, if you watch the trailer, Raya's mission to restore peace and reunite her community, her diverse communities, is again reminds me of this idea, this concept to reunite Southeast Asia. Because Southeast Asia back then, pre-colonially, was really interconnected with one another. The modern borders of Southeast Asia today are the results of colonialism. Pre-colonially, the diverse people of Southeast Asia have always been interconnected. But because of this colonialism, they've been divided. So yeah, I love the fact that they're reflecting this diversity, this colorful diversity in this movie, in the world of Raya. And again, that's probably my favorite part of this trailer. Because we all know that we can say a lot of criticisms, a lot of things about Disney movies, but so far, this trailer is really promising. So yeah, I do hope that it fully lives up to its potential and promises. Being the first Southeast Asian inspired mainstream Disney animated movie, it has a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations that comes along with it. And I know it is a fantasy world, but so far, from this trailer alone, I can see a lot of potential. I can see a lot of deeper context, deeper meanings, a lot of traditional, cultural stuff that are deeply and distinctly Southeast Asian. So far, so good. It is exciting. So far, I'm actually excited to see the movie. And again, this movie itself is a significant milestone in terms of representation in Hollywood for Southeast Asians. Despite the fact that there's a lot of different Southeast Asian communities in the US, we are often marginalized, even when they are depicting Asians themselves. Because here in the US, when people actually say Asian, oftentimes the majority of the people would actually picture somebody who looks like Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. Very East Asian. So yeah, I love the fact that the people in the movie Raya are actually diverse. It's very vibrant because it's very Southeast Asian. Southeast Asia is very vibrant. It debunks this stereotype that Asians are all East Asian looking, are all light-skinned, are all thin-kit, when in fact, Asia is a very diverse continent. So yes, there's a lot of things to look forward to, a lot of things to anticipate, a lot of excitement happening around this movie. And yeah, we'll see when it comes out. So those are my initial thoughts and my initial reaction after watching the official trailer of Raya and the Last Dragon. And please comment down below your own initial reactions after watching it. If you've seen it already, let me know in the comments below how you felt about it, what are your thoughts on it. And also, if I missed anything from the trailer, please let me know in the comments below. I mean, I'm serious, I want to hear from you. Let me know, did you like it or not? Why or why not? And that is it for me today. If you like this video and learn a thing or two, if you like my reaction to this trailer, don't forget to like, share this video, comment down below, and subscribe. And if you want to help me make more videos like this, show your support and please be my patron or get a copy of my book. Or you can also buy any of the merch linked down below. And you can also tune in for my future book, the book I'm currently writing right now, about the untold, the often forgotten history of the Luzones that spans across Southeast Asia all the way to the Americas. So yes, please tune in for that. And yes, shout out din sa aking mga patrons. Shout out to all my patrons on Patreon that continuously supports me in my journey to create more educational videos, cultural videos for all of you. Maraming salamat po. Dakal pong salamat. Hanggang sa muli. See you next time. Or Tagalog, kita-kits and in Kapampangan, Mikitix.